Today is the first official day football season is back because the pads are on and there's a real football game on Thursday. New
Yep.
Sprint Right Option podcast starts now.
Right.
This is my favorite. This is my new favorite bit we do. I don't know
Right.
why, but we
Mm-hmm.
still need the new video. That's okay. Hey, New Sprint Right Option podcast. I'm Andrew Pasquini, joined as always by Jason Aponte. And Jason, it's a Monday. The Niners wore pads for the first time today. So they made the noises. They made the football noises. It was good. It feels good. But Jason, I want to know how you're feeling today. How you doing on this lovely Monday?
Doing great. It's one of the last Sundays that we're gonna have without football for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I realized yesterday. Was sitting in a bar with my brother yesterday, and I have a new favorite game with our local bartender.
Okay.
It's baseball related, but we're gonna turn into football.
Okay.
If I end up next week. We just randomly name two baseball players, pull up the Pro Baseball Reference, and put their stats up together next to it, and talk like
I like it.
contextualize through it. Yeah, it's so good. It
I
was
like
so
it.
good. Yeah,
That's fun. I like that. That might be a segment here in the next few weeks here on the Sprint Right Option podcast because it's just gonna a lot of the conversation is gonna be what happened in camp, and that's always ever changing. That's a good bit. I like that idea. Just name two random people and just have a conversation. That sounds like you're podcasting inside of a bar. I like it.
Well, the thing is it was on the heels of us discussing the Hall of Fame, and by the way,
Okay.
this is CC Sabathia is in.
Mhm.
Congratulations. Ichiro Suzuki's in. Congratulations. But my question is this: Ted Williams wasn't a unanimous selection. Ken Griffey Jr. wasn't a unanimous selection. Ichiro Suzuki's not a unanimous selection. Like, we need to find out who these idiots
Mhm.
are that aren't, or who said, I don't think Ted Williams is a Hall of Famer. I don't think
Mhm.
Ken Griffey's a Hall of Famer. And you should get rid of their vote and take it away from them. And we started going through all of these players that, are close on the edge, like, or people that are in. So that's really how it started.
The only unanimous is Mariano, right?
Correct. And
Which
listen,
is crazy.
and listen, that's absolutely 100%
Yes.
valid. It's 100.
Yes.
But who's the idiot that says, I don't think Ken Griffey Jr.
I don't
belongs
think
in the Hall of
Willie
Fame.
Mays is a Hall of
I
Famer.
don't think Babe Ruth is a Hall of Famer. Like, what? Like, strip these nerds of their goddamn vote.
I could talk Major League Baseball Hall of Fame all day, Jason, because we haven't even mentioned the name Barry Bonds, and that's when I'll start getting really angry. But that's okay, Jason. Let's talk 49ers camp. And I know today was an exciting day, but things did happen over the weekend since we last talked.
Mm-hmm.
Renardo Green hurt his hamstring. Juwan Jennings hurt his calf. Teron Jackson had a pretty sounded like a pretty serious neck injury, had to be carted off, but he wasn't back at practice today, but he was released from the hospital. With the Renardo Green injury, the 49ers did make a move over the weekend. They signed Eli Apple, which perfectly falls into the I will never forget Jason Aponte. A couple years ago when I was still watching Game of Thrones, right? Like I was watching Game of Thrones for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to the scene where Tyrion killed Tywin Lannister. And I was
while
shocked.
He was sitting on the toilet, right?
Yes, I was shocked. I was stunned. Hadn't checked my phone in a couple hours, and I get up, go check my phone, and I was more shocked by the tweet of Josh Norman was a 49er when I was watching that episode. And I very much had that same feeling yesterday of like, oh, okay, like Eli Apple's on the Niners. Now that's something. It exists, I guess.
You know what's funny is we can make all the jokes that we want about Josh Norman, but this is how you know you've left an impact. If you can remember exactly where you were when you got the notification that Josh Norman became a San Francisco 49er, don't tell me that that's not impactful. Because I couldn't tell you where I was when that happened.
I vividly remember it because it was such a jarring episode of Game of Thrones, and then just reading the jarring.
Can you walk this back for her a little bit and just help her out? Because it seems like she's struggling with this one because she thinks Eli Apple is Josh Norman. And
no.
I almost wish he was Josh Norman.
Yeah, no, listen, it's not. Eli Apple is, he's a cornerback in the NFL. Right?
I love this. He certainly is. He certainly is a cornerback in the NFL. I can definitely say that.
Let me spin it like this, Jason. We talked about how if there was any injuries in the cornerback room for the 49ers, they would be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
They'd still probably be in trouble, but at least you recognize the name Eli Apple.
Well, I think this goes back to, and we're just talking about, obviously, Ricky Pearsall is back and he's activated, so you have to bring somebody on, and you have the injury to Renardo Green. But I think the proper question is, why not Asante Samuel? And I think that's really just what's funny about it. But if you want to talk about, and this goes back to Ron's question right here, sounds like, and this name is A1. This is how you know.
Yeah.
Dallas Flowers.
Yep.
Is somebody who has been making waves right on the outside. So it would be one of those guys that is there. But you do need a certain amount of bodies to run reps. We understand all that and everything as well too. But it does feel like a camp body. But why bring on a camp body if you can just sign somebody who you think is a good player? To me, that just signifies that Asante Samuel's medicals must not be clear, checking out.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. And I know obviously the 1-year contract doesn't mean anything because the Niners could easily, move on from the contract. But yeah, though it being reported that it was a 1-year deal makes it feel like that this is probably not a camp body situation. And Eli Apple is probably here to stay for the long run. And ideally you don't see him. Jason, not to brag myself. I really liked my tweet to your response of he's the Josh Norman of Ambry Thomas's. Like his name. I don't think you ever really want to see him on the field. But listen, I mean, Josh Norman kind of quasi worked himself into 49ers lore because of that great game in Green Bay. You remember the playoff game, obviously, and Green Bay needed a score. And I forgot who got hurt, but Norman had to go onto the field and Rodgers started targeting Norman, and Norman had a couple pass breakups of Devontae Adams. So in a vacuum, is Eli Apple a signing of oh my God, the Niners, what was the term, Jason? Quality players available in the month of July, the one I texted you,
right?
Impact players. There's not impact players left in July, but for good or for bad, Eli Apple is a name you will recognize, and that is something because and no offense to Dallas Flowers, right? Because he is getting a lot of attention, but as of this second, you probably feel more comfortable with Eli Apple because you just based off of the name. In terms of what they're doing in camp, Dallas Flowers is sounding like he's playing very well, and you'll probably be more comfortable with him in 2 months. But right now, as a backup, just because name recognition, Eli Apple's not the worst signing, especially if he's going to be your fourth quarterback.
He certainly is a cornerback in the NFL.
He's a cornerback.
I definitely I will say that. I think that's all I got. More than anything, again, we and this is a serious note. The 49ers have ample nickel, nickel cornerbacks, right? Yes. It's the outside corners that you feel, a little bit shaky about. Is it Darrell Luter's time? Dallas Flowers is doing well right now. Trey Brown is somebody who I recently did a Seahawks podcast, and he actually made me feel so much better about Trey Brown, talking about that he's a lot better than the stats bear out. A lot of it was at times he's a little handsy and he can be, penalty ridden, things like that. So there's things that, are there, but it's just like you said, the names don't make you feel warm and fuzzy inside because, you just don't know what you're going to get. Right. But, I think the Asante Samuel thing is clearly something we're going to keep an eye on, but maybe, just maybe the 49ers just feel good with what they have and they just wanted somebody who can be there just as a rotational guy. And if we're going off of the way that Kyle Shanahan runs his team, the veteran's probably going to get in there before it's going to be some unnamed or no-name guy, So, yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those signings where you just go, oh, okay, they signed Eli Apple, that's fine.
It was an ample time to get off memes and send in jokes and things like that. This is the thing. Not every 49ers transaction is going to knock your socks off. Not every 49ers transaction is going to be something that's great. But, you need to know when to react accordingly with actual analysis, and you need to know when to react with memes. And that Eli Apple one was your time for the memes.
I think I used the Brat Summer because the song Apple, Charlie XCX. Anyways, neither here nor there.
you know what? I mean, we've been vibing with music. That one, it's over my head. I'm not gonna lie, it's over my head.
Listen, man, if you got give Brad a listen. It's a fun. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a great album. It's a fun
Point to the vinyl. Point to the vinyl. Show me. Show me. Point to it.
Oh, I don't have the Brat vinyl, but I got the new Tyler vinyl. There you go.
Ooh.
Shout out. Jason, one last thing I wanted to note that happened over the weekend, and just to kind of show you how much can change over the course of training camp. Last Wednesday, when we last talked, we talked about kind of the concerns with wide receiver. Ricky Pearsall hurt. Jawan Jennings had just gotten hurt. Like, what's going on with the receiver? And then we find out over the weekend, well, the Niners just have the greatest receiver in NFL history, in Isaiah Nair. So he got a lot of attention over the weekend. And so maybe he's another name to talk about as a potential making the team. I mean, there's room for him to make the team, right? Like, there's absolutely room for him to make the team. And he had a very, very good weekend from what I read on the Twitter.
Well, if there's ever a time to take a victory lap, it's on the third day of training camp.
Yes.
And I'm gonna take that victory lap with Isaiah Nair. No, I mean, obviously the attributes, the physical gifts, they're evident, right? But there is an opening right now, especially with the Jacob Cowing thing. By the way, Kyle Shanahan did let us know. It sounds like Jacob Cowing is gonna be around by Raiders week. That's good news,
Yes.
it just sucks that, he's not able to stack those days in training camp. So I do think that they feel a little bit better about their room, but I think, and this is me just thinking outside the box because I'm a forward-thinking person and I'm someone who is an innovator. I like to consider myself an innovator, a renaissance man. Isaiah Nair versus Isaiah Hodgins in a steel cage. Winner gets the spot in 53. Battle of the Isaiahs. Only one Isaiah can leave.
Put it on pay-per-view.
Put it on pay-per-view. 100%.
Put it on pay-per-view.
I'd buy it.
Cully, this is a sentence I 100% said this week. And by the way, just going back to vinyls really quick. Okay, let's get to training camp today, Jason Aponte. First day of pads, but before that, Eli Apple, not even the newest 49er to talk about. The big news this morning before practice started, Brock Purdy and his wife Jenna welcomed their first child. I don't think they welcomed him today. I don't think the child was born today, but they announced today that they had a child. So Claps for Brock Purdy. Very, very, dare I say, a very good offseason for the man. Made a lot of money. Had a kid. I think didn't he get married this offseason as well? Everything blends together at this point. So congratulations for Brock Purdy. So now we got Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and I think Fred Warner had a kid as well this offseason. So just dad strength happening. I'm feeling good about the Niners Super Bowl chances this year.
NFL, look at me. All their NFL teams. The amount of dad strength that is on this team now. You're cooked. You're fried. Pack it up. Pack it up. Philadelphia Eagles, we're coming. It's done. All right? The dads are coming for you. The amount of strength that it takes to take care of a newborn, the amount of strength that it takes to chase around a toddler like Fred Warner has. Football is like the least physically the demanding thing compared to that, So you're all cooked, guys. I hope you had a good time with your little trophy, but the dads are coming for you.
Yep. Yeah. No. But shout out for real. Shout out Brock Purdy. Very cool thing to get to announce. That's why he missed practice over the weekend, but he is back today. Jason, with pads being on for the first time today, we got our first look at the offensive and defensive line, kind of for real. And boy, oh boy, listen, if we're going to overreact to the first day of camp with pads on, the Niners nailed their first couple of picks because all I saw all day today was Mykel Williams and CJ West. Mykel Williams, I saw the word twitchy. I saw the word speed. Just a lot of very, very good words for Mykel Williams. And that's something the Niners absolutely need. And I think what really excites me, and it's not something necessarily that's new. We talked about it on the podcast when the Niners did draft Mykel Williams. But where's my note here? Nick Wagner said specifically he seemed more comfortable passing from the interior than the outside, which only makes it better for the Niners because if we're sitting here now, we can sit here and say that, and I'm so excited to get to use this terminology again, Jason, that NASCAR package that Robert Saleh had with the Niners way back when, and now it's back. It feels like it's 3/4 of the way there because you have Nick Bosa, and now you have Mykel Williams, who seems to prefer the inside pass rush. You have Bryce Huff on the other side. So now it's just kind of finding out who's that fourth person on the line in the NASCAR package. So that's good for a team that had their struggles with the pass rush last year, especially in the run game. And Mykel Williams sounds like the Niners defensive line had a good day against the run today, at least. Not going to read too much into that. I'm just really excited by these key words that describe Mykel Williams and CJ West.
You know, I've seen enough, and I haven't seen anything. Mykel Williams is Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Trent Williams, buddy, you're on pack watch. I don't know what's going on,
man. That's the did the Niners make a really good pick, or is Trent Williams cooked? And it depends how grim or how happy you want to be is what side you're picking.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. Log on to NinersNation.com tomorrow for my think piece. Is Mykel Williams the man, or is Trent Williams cooked? Ryan Reed, thank you for the donation. It's good to see you, buddy. What up, guys? So stoked to have football back. How do you guys feel about the status of offensive weapons with the wide receiver injuries? Andrew Pasquini, I think we've talked about this a little bit this offseason. I'm going to defer to you, though, on this one.
I'm at a point where I think, and I know Jennings and Pearsall are hurt. I'm at a point where if you just tell me they're going into week 1 with just Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle, I feel fine. Obviously receivers leave a little to be, excited about, right?
Desired.
But there we go. Thank you very much. That's the word I was looking for. Receivers leave a little to be desired, but Jauan Jennings, he's shown he can be consistent. Ricky Pearsall really came on in the second half of the season. Demarcus Robinson, he might be suspended the first 3 games. That's an issue, but he sounds like he's been pretty good at camp. But my thing is you're going into this with Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. And to me, I'm not going to say it's enough, but it's more than a lot of other teams have. And I think what Niner fans kind of got to get used to is we've been very spoiled the last 5 years, especially the last 3 years since the addition of Christian McCaffrey, where you're going out there with McCaffrey, Kittle, Ayuk, and Samuel. And I don't think Niner fans realize just how rare that is, like how rare it is to have that many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. So it feels like you're taking a severe drop off with Jauan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall as your 2 main receivers to start the season. But realistically, like, there is nothing Christian McCaffrey can't do that Deebo Samuel can do, right? Like McCaffrey can do a lot. Obviously, less physical running the ball. I think that's 2 different things. I'm talking in terms of how you're going to use him in this offense. McCaffrey can do a lot of the same things, right? We even talked about it on Wednesday, Jason, about maybe using McCaffrey more as a out wide option, kind of give him less reps as a receiver. But yes, it feels like it's a drop off with the receivers because it realistically is, but the weapons around the receiving core and how Shanahan kind of utilizes them, especially if we talk in a world where George Kittle is going to get more targets, I think there's not much to worry about. If we're talking about within the receiver position, yes, there is stuff to worry about. There's not a lot of depth, but if we're talking as offense as a whole, I think they'll be fine.
As the guy's wearing a glorious Warriors World Christian McCaffrey shirt, shout out to Seed, by the way. You know what's funny is we didn't coordinate this, and this is completely off, and I'm going to get back to the weapons and everything. This is from Warriors World, but do we remember Trey Area?
Oh, man. Man. He's cooking down in Los Angeles, it sounds like.
Sounds like Jim Harbaugh is about to make a lot of people mad. Regardless. No, look. For a game or 2, and I've seen Kyle Shanahan dial this offense up with Marquise Goodwin, Trent Taylor. I understand the names don't jump out to you, right? Yeah. But George Kittle's the best tight end in football.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey is still when he's ready to go. And I don't know if you saw 49ers.com, and if you want to pull it up, Andrew, so we can show everybody and get everybody hyped about Christian McCaffrey. 49ers.com just posted Christian McCaffrey smoking, I believe it's Chaz Surratt on a go route and making an hell of a catch. He looks bouncy. So I've seen him draw it up when, there was nobody on the offense in certain games. He can get by the first game of the season, the second game of the season. Just with little old Christian McCaffrey, Isaac Guerrero, George Kittle, right? Whoever the wide receiver, it'll probably be Jauan Jennings. I'm not as worried about that. Now, having said that, does that mean necessarily, and this is the video I'm talking about, look, just get smoked, 46, because 23 is out here making crazy catches. Look at that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh, I didn't see
yeah.
that. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's nice. See, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying though. Like,
Yeah.
you telling me you can't put him out wide a little bit here and
Yeah.
there? Like,
Right.
that's a nice
Look,
catch. That's a nice catch for a
can
running back.
you go back and we'll do a quick film breakdown as well too. We're gonna bring film breakdowns back down. I mean, I can't post all 22 because the NFL is gonna demonetize the video. But just watch right after this. Look, he beats him and watch the finger go up. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Throw
there
it up.
is. There it is.
Acknowledge him.
Do we know who threw that?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
Let me look. Let me use my eyes here. Really, Jason, you talk. Let me see if I can see in the background who threw this.
So regardless, right? Like the idea is Demarcus Robinson was supposed to be here to put the pressure off of Brandon Ayuk returning, right? He shouldn't be added to it when Brandon Ayuk is there, depending on how long the suspension is, right? But I think they'll be fine. I think, look, the 49ers' emphasis is going to be in those games is to buckle down, run the football, and you know what? Throwing the football to George Kittle a few more times couldn't hurt anybody. So, yeah, I mean, look, right now, I think it looks like this, and I also think that we still haven't figured out who's going to be healthy week 1. But I am confident in Kyle Shanahan to be able to craft an offensive game plan against certain teams to be able to, exploit mismatches and be able to do what he does because he's done it before with much less.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and like, I don't want to, like, make this comparison because Brock Purdy isn't Jimmy Garoppolo and Jimmy Garoppolo isn't Brock Purdy. But like,
wait, hold on. But that doubles on my point too. So yeah. he's able to craft this offense too with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, with CJ Beathard at quarterback. And Brock's better than both of those guys, right?
Yeah, and so I can kind of see them going back to that offense just for the lack of weapons, but the ability to stretch the field vertically because of Brock Purdy. Now I could see them very much becoming a run first team once again, just because of the lack of receivers. But I feel like Brock Purdy allows you. I mean, you got to remember a couple years ago, Brock Purdy was damn near the MVP. He was an MVP candidate, and the Niners were like 29th in the league in throwing the ball, something like that. I forget the exact number. I could look it up to get you the exact where they were in terms of pass attempts.
Insane efficiency.
But like Brock Purdy, we were talking about Brock Purdy potentially being an MVP, and the Niners had the. It doesn't have it on that page. Let me find the stats for you real quick, Jason, while you talk. But the point is like they don't have to throw the ball a ton in order to be a productive offense, and you don't even need Christian McCaffrey because we've seen this offense work with lesser running backs. The Niners were 32nd in pass attempts in 2023. 491 pass attempts was the fewest in the NFL, and Brock Purdy was an MVP candidate. So like they don't need to throw the ball to make it work. It's just it's how the run game works and then how they base the pass game on top of that. So yes, like we're not used to the quality of names at wide receiver right now, but I don't think that is what's going to hurt this offense. I think what can hurt this offense is if Purdy kind of like last year is a little turnover happy, right? A hard ground in Buffalo kind of hurt this offense last year too because McCaffrey looked good. You have to talk about the regression of Deebo Samuel, and I mean just somebody reminded me about the drop on the slant against the Rams, and I got angry about that all over again. But like there was so much there last year about why the Niners offense didn't work as it should. And none of that necessarily affects this year outside of not having Brandon Ayuk. Like, obviously, not having Brandon Ayuk last year hurt this team. But I think this year, with what they have in Kittle and McCaffrey, I think that's already enough to work around. And if this offensive line, again, I know we don't like to talk about the offensive line because Niners Twitter has this perception of it's a very bad offensive line. But the offensive line
today.
Because Michael Williams beat Trent Williams. He's cooked now, Jason.
No, and Pooney's getting beat, and everybody's
Pooney got beat. Oh my god,
it's sophomore slump. It's over.
We're
like look how quickly we just went from literally explaining to you how we're back to now it's over.
Now we're dead. We're dead. The offense, but no, yeah. As long as the offensive line is in that slightly below average to slightly above average territory that they've been floating in the last 3 years, the offense will be fine. The offense will be fine. It's just now, not to flip the question to the defense, it's what does the defense, like the defense to me is the biggest question on this team. And it's not even remotely close because I feel like I'm just so convinced the offense is going to work as it should. It just, can the defense stop teams from scoring?
I mean, if all else fails, you just run the triple option quarterback with Purdy and Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I like
yeah.
that.
So I mean, I like, you know, you're paying a lot for a fullback. You might as well use them, right? So like, you know, Juszczyk, Kittle, McCaffrey, we're set. We're fine. We're good here. You know, what is it? The Colin Cowherd thing. Hey, LeBron, we're good here. We're good here, bro.
We're good.
Ben Simmons is here. We're
Yeah,
good
exactly.
here,
We're
man.
good. We're good. Ryan, thank you again.
yeah.
And kind of back to what we were talking about before. You asked about the receivers, and I'll let Jason talk about it. Michael Williams, is he the real deal? Seems so.
Yeah, man. It seems like he is right now. I mean, you know, you think about the things that we already knew about him, right? The things that we can set our watch to. And I'm very much in that boat when we talk about football players because the rest we have to project, right? Or we have to hope develops. Setting the edge, being great against the run. You know, Trent Williams talking about the fact that it sucks to block him because he has arms longer than your legs. And I don't want you to jump out the window with the, you know, the Aldon Smith comparisons, but you know, like that's the first person that probably jumps into your head, right? And you know, by the way, we were talking about it, right? Like I think it was with you I think it was me and Brian Peacock. I want everyone, including 49ers players, to stop comping 49ers rookies and second-year players with former 49er players. Like me hearing Trent Williams say, I think Michael Williams is DeForest Buckner. What on earth are you doing? Like this fan base has already got PTSD based on the fact that DeForest Buckner left and they still want him back. And then, you know, they're like, oh, up to Stouts K'Wan Williams. And, you know, like stop. Just everybody stop. Like, can we just get some other comps? And then, now Michael Williams is Aldon Smith. Stop. Everybody stop. Like, right? Like let's not do all that. But, yeah, it does seem like he's the real deal. And I think that, again, going back to my original point, we know he was going to be able to set the edge. We know he's going to be very good against the run. If he even learns a little bit, I'm shadowing Nick Bosa and learning those tactical moves, that's the stuff we need to see, and it sounds like that's happening right away. And that's, you know, again, I'm gonna put this on Chris Kosurik. You know, we you know, you get all the praise when everything's going right. When it's not going right, it's just like, it's not his fault. Let's go, magician. It's time for you to develop a rookie. I need you to develop this young man and make him better, not somebody who's been in the league. So yeah, but it does seem like early returns are good. So from we're back to it's over to we're back. You know, see how quickly we're doing this, and we're gonna keep doing this the entire episode.
And for what it's worth, not worth much because it's me saying it. But I do a yearly NinersNation.com. Jason, we write for NinersNation.com. Don't know if you guys knew that. I do a yearly bold prediction article. And yesterday I was kind of doing early brainstorming. And I feel like one I feel good about is Michael Williams' depoy. Or not depoy, rookie depoy.
Yes.
Depoy would be, boy, oh boy, if Michael Williams is depoy year one.
If Michael Williams was defensive player of the year, oh my God.
But no, I'm talking off our defensive rookie of the year. Because listen, the situation is there, and I know Travis Hunter will probably get a little bit of a bump if he plays cornerback because of the two-way thing, and Abdul Carter was the second pick or the third pick in the draft. He gets a lot of that attention. Abdul Carter was the best player in the draft, Jason. Don't know if you heard that.
No. But, can I make a better joke off of that?
yes, of course.
Okay, so we're talking about victory laps at training camp. I said pre-draft that Abdul Carter was gonna be really good.
But
bro, the number one overall consensus prospect.
Literally, the only reason Abdul Carter did not go number one is because the first pick needed a tight end or a quarterback, and then there was a player who plays both sides of the ball. That never happens, right? But anyways, Michael Williams, he is in a spot because he's going to get a boost, right? Because if the Niners defense returns to what they resemble, what they've been the past couple of years, and Michael Williams plays a role in that. And nothing against Abdul Carter, but I just don't see Abdul Carter making the Giants a playoff team, right? Like the Giants probably aren't going to be a playoff team, but Michael Williams, if he said, let's just say he has 8.5 sacks, right? Like let's just throw a random number out there, 8.5 sacks this season. You know, he gets a good amount of pressures because like honestly, in my brain, the idea of on third downs, you get Nick Bosa and Michael Williams on the same side with one on the interior, one on the outside, which obviously Bosa is going to be on the outside. Williams is going to be able to take advantage of that situation. And so there could be a case where it's like, well, look, Williams got added to this pass rush, and now the Niners pass rush is what it used to be. He's going to get those points because he is the big addition to this defense. Realistically, right? What did the Niners do on this defense other than draft a bunch of guys? And it's Mykel Williams was the first guy to be added. So I think there is a very, I'm not even going to say outside shot. I think there's a chance, and I don't have odds in front of me. I could look up odds, see what it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here in 4 months talking about Mykel Williams, Defensive Rookie of the Year, not Player of the Year. Which, boy, as I said, if we're talking about that,
Hey,
like
I'm it's
excited.
still possible.
But yeah, so I'm really even before today and the first day of pads, like I'm really excited to see what Mykel Williams has to offer.
Just going back to the Abdul Carter thing, just one more time, like just real quick. That is literally the equivalent of like when people engagement farm on Twitter and they're like, I was told Steph Curry wasn't a good 3-point shooter, or I was told LeBron James wasn't one of the best players of all time. Like no one ever said any of that. Like you're not like you saying I believe Abdul Carter is going to be good is probably the least spicy take in the history of the NFL. Just wanted to, that just makes me laugh.
From April 28th, Defensive Rookie of the Year odds, Abdul Carter was the favorite, plus 250. Travis Hunter, plus 750. Jalen Walker, plus 900. And then Mykel Williams, plus 1,000. So there's that. CJ West was also impressive today. Gojira, thank you very much. We mentioned that as well. Jennifer Lee Chan said power. Matt Barrows mentioned CJ West's power as well. Cam Inman mentioned his hands. She former wrestler.
Former wrestler. Jennifer Lee Chan knows power.
But CJ West also getting a lot of rave reviews. So like there's a chance where the Niners pass rush or the Niners defensive line was their strength for a few years. Last year it fell off. Through 5 days of practice, Jason, it seems like the Niners may have fixed that defensive line. But as I said, this is 5 practices in. We have a whole NFL season to go, but early returns. And I think was it Stats who had the tweet? He said something about like, hey, the first few days of camp don't mean much, but I can't remember a player who stood out in the first couple of days of practice and it wasn't good. So right. I mean, it's what we have right now, I guess is the best way to say it, right? Is we don't have any information on CJ West, on Alfred, or not Alfred Morris. I keep what's Morris's first name? I keep saying Alfred because it's the running back I grew up. Alfred Collins. It's not even Morris. I got the first name right. Alfred Collins. Alfred Morris is just in my head. Niner legend Jason Aponte. Yes. Alfred Collins, Mykel Williams, even Upton Stout to an extent, right? Upton Stout's getting a lot of conversation about how good he looked. He had a pass breakup on a very aggressive play on a deep out route to Ricky Pearsall today.
So and Pearsall's cooked.
Pearsall's cooked. He's done.
Jesus, man, this is going so up and down, man.
Up and down, yeah. But again, this is all we have. This is the information at hand. In 6 months, the conversation might be completely different. But right now, what we have in our hand is the Niners might have nailed some of these draft picks. And that, listen, I feel people saying, hey, it's just camp. This is sure a hell of a lot better than people talking about Mykel Williams. Looks like he's lost out there. Or CJ West doesn't look like he belongs. It's like, which one would you rather be hearing right now? I am much more excited about what I'm hearing right now than what it could be.
Yeah, and I think to your question that was earlier, and I'm sorry that I didn't answer because I did have a really good answer. Who's the fourth member of the NASCAR package? It's Yetur Gross-Matos, and we still haven't seen him, jump on the field yet. Mm-hmm. That same flexibility that you're talking about with Mykel kicking inside is absolutely what you can do with Yetur Gross-Matos, and you can really start to put pressure. Gross-Matos, Huff, Williams, Bosa, good luck. You're never gonna know where to send your help, whether it's a chip or an extra blocker or slide your protection. That sort of flexibility is starting to happen. I'm not trying to tell you that now this defense is the 2019 version in which it was Buckner, D Ford, Bosa, and Eric Armstead. But my goodness, man, the flexibility allows you to get really creative. And if we believe Robert Saleh is who we think he is, and we do, that this is going to be something that really pays off. But again, all of it stems from you have to be able to stop the run quickly, early. You have to get into those passing downs. If you're not stopping the run, can't have no fun. And that's the guy that I think is the one that can really unlock this. You can get one more year out of Yetur Gross-Matos, and if you get him on the field and you use him primarily in that NASCAR package, you maximize his efficiency, you maximize the potential that he has, and that's really where it's going to be.
From the defensive linemen that are getting us a little excited, how about D Winters? Sounds like he's having a pretty good camp, and to some, again, it's very, very early, Jason Aponte, but some seem to think that D Winters has a pretty firm grip on the second linebacker spot. He had an interception today, which I don't know if you saw, Jason. It was off of Jason Pinnock pass breakup, which is another name that kind of keeps popping up, making plays.
Big fan of Jason's.
We love Jason's on this podcast. I love Jason Aponte. I made the joke, Jason. I didn't even need to ask Grok who the most famous person to visit my profile is, because it's Jason Aponte. But Jason, how are you feeling about the early returns on D Winters and a very important camp for him, because he was drafted in a situation where Dre Greenlaw's future was unsure. So obviously there's some sort of plan for him. And it seems like, again, early returns, he's hitting.
Competition's always good. And never underestimate the idea of, D Winters realizing Dre Greenlaw's left. I have this opportunity. And then the 49ers go in the draft and they draft Nick Martin with a pick that many people would say was far too high. Meaning they really care about that position. And everybody all offseason, Fred Warner, everybody, D Winters looks good. D Winters looks great. Don't underestimate the fact that, him talking about all of that, getting all that going, and that chip on his shoulder is so big. And the other thing that I thought was impressive was he was talking at a press conference, and he talked about this offseason, I really had to work on recovery and making sure that my body is healthy. So it's not like he's completely oblivious to the fact of what's really holding him back, which is him being able to stay on the field. Again, optimism is at an all-time high on July 28th, and it has to be, right? Like, you can't be down in the dumps. Nobody's down in the dumps about their team right now. Nobody. Everybody's team is ready to go. You have all the optimism in the world. D Winters, playing very well is just a good thing, and that you hope continues, and that's what these preseason games are going to be. Andrew, I really can't believe there's a game on Thursday, man. Like, I want to cry. I want to cry so bad.
I think what throws us off is it's July 31st. Like football in July just feels weird, right? But we're here. Like we are here.
We did it.
It's football season. We've made it. So it's exciting. It's exciting. My favorite tradition with the Hall of Fame game is to watch the first drive, and then I'm watching a preseason football game and kind of zone out the rest of the way. But I don't think that's where I'm at with this year. I think I'm just so excited where I might watch 2 drives.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is the same game that I was telling you that I was playing with the bartender about baseball players. I told him, I was like, I cannot wait to irrationally put in a parlay on this Hall of Fame game on players that are going to be cut working at like AutoZone in like a week, and like it just, we're so back. We've done it. Like I like life has purpose again because football is back. Like things feel really good.
Costco had Halloween crap. It's officially fall. Like if that's the case, if Halloween stuff is out, it's fall and it's football season. So there we go.
Can we look, hold on real quick? Just a side tangent. Just a real side tangent. Stop pushing things in front of me that are nowhere near. Stop telling me about Christmas in September. Stop, please. I already have a hard enough time getting through Christmas as it is, because I think the holiday is abhorrent. That's
good
fine.
Good word.
Yeah, you like that, right? Yeah, I it was my word of the day on my calendar, so I had to use it. But come on, it's July. It's not even August yet. Like, what are we doing? The only reason that I'm really excited for Halloween is the San Francisco 49ers play the New York Giants that weekend here at the crib. And we've got the 49ers invasion and all those things. And if anybody's going to be out here, if you're going to come to that 49ers game, make sure you get here early, because Halloween in New York and New Jersey is insane. And then after that, we have the 49ers game against the Giants and Russell Wilson. So that it's an action-packed week. So that's the only reason I'm excited about Halloween. But yeah, stop it. Come on.
Jason, let's talk about a name really quick because we've good conversation today. We're already at 40 minutes here. Dallas Flowers getting a lot of attention. He had an interception today on a one-on-one rep against Jordan Watkins, who's another player who's getting a lot of hype. But it kind of plays into what we were talking about earlier, the lack of depth at cornerback. You think Dallas Flowers actually has a chance to make this roster despite being relatively unknown before this weekend?
I mean, off name basis. I mean, Quintez Cephas didn't make this roster, and he has like one of the top names, right?
Yep.
Like, no, I forget where I saw it, and maybe you can look it up real quick. But someone said that the 49ers have been. Oh, here it is. It's Lombardi. He tweeted a video of Gus Bradley, and if you get it up, please play it because I want everybody to hear it. He tweeted out a video of Gus Bradley while he was in Indy about how excited he was for Dallas Flowers. Dallas Flowers then tore his ACL, and it pushed everything back. And now Gus Bradley is, second in charge as DC, and now Dallas Flowers is another year removed from the ACL injury. So, do I think he has a chance to make this team? Sure. Because it does seem like, again, this defense is being handpicked by the guys who are running this defense. Robert Saleh, Gus Bradley, right? Like, so if you can find that one, it would be good. But I would be remiss in my duties by saying that he has no shot because it's only a few days, and if injuries keep piling up, anybody can make this team. So yeah, I think he does, and I think that they really want him to win a spot.
We have issues with the audio with videos when we share them. I think I might have found the quote. I know this is Gus Bradley, which he's with the Niners now, talking about Dallas Flowers. Apologize. I know for him, he didn't play as good as he wanted to, but we kind of anticipated there might just be some different looks that he might have to get accustomed to just coming back from injury. So I think that's a good start for him. We know where he's at. He knows where he's at and the progress he has to make. Another quote, although we said in OTAs the last 5% or less 10% is what he needs to work on. So we kind of anticipated that there would be some spots where he was just getting acclimated to the speed of the game again. Probably not the exact quotes, but there's stuff out there of Gus Bradley talking about Dallas Flowers, and that's always a good sign to have a coach in your back pocket. I mean, you're almost seeing it with Jason Pinnock, right? You're seeing it with Pinnock because Pinnock was with Saleh with the Jets. So guys like that are getting opportunities because of these coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's really my point more than anything is that this defense feels so handpicked by the guys that like them that how could you not, right? Like hearing something like that kind of put me in. I was like, okay, now I get it, right? And by the way, if we're talking about, again, all-time names, the way he spells Dallas is fire.
Yeah. Because it doesn't remind you of Dallas.
It's no.
His own spin.
But you spell it.
Dallis, not AS. So it's a little different than you're used to seeing, but it's enough. It's enough.
Axel says I already tore my ACL, so I'll fit right in.
Dude.
He has a chance. Axel, you sound like a Niner.
Oh, I feel bad for Axel because Trent Baalke's not in the league anymore. So
but yeah, I will say this: Christian Wilkins, maybe come on down.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, yo. Listen. Hey, my honest to God take on that.
Not the New York AO from Andrew, yo. That's so good.
My honest take on that is this is a league that has allowed a lot of very bad people in the league, right? Like, I mean, go look at the Browns quarterback situation, right? Why they're kind of where they're at. If the worst thing he's done is kiss a guy on the head, I'll take Christian Wilkins in a heartbeat because we wanted him when he was a free agent last year. So why would you not try and take him now? Because he would instantly be your starting defensive tackle.
I don't want to hear anything about character issues when we rooted for Charles Haley, who was like genuinely a terrible person, like in a menace. And Dana Stubblefield's a bad person, like in real life. Like, what are we talking about?
Is the injury thing a concern? I don't know.
Yes,
I think it's very weird.
That's what I'm more.
I think it's weird that the team was trying to get him to have surgery, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." So like, I don't know where the injury thing kind of. But yeah, there's more to that, and we'll find out what happens. Jason, I don't have a ton more. I feel like we kind of hit a lot of the big points. I do want to say, thank God Brock Purdy signed his contract extension because Mac Jones is low-key cooking at practice right now.
Oh my
We
god.
would have had to have some conversations.
Oh my god. I just look, man. Message to everyone and anyone, no one in particular. If training camp stats don't matter when a player's playing bad and you think he's
Yeah.
good, then they don't matter when a player who you thought was bad is playing well.
Yeah.
Either it all matters or it doesn't. And here's the key: it doesn't. Mac Jones is one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. We know that. I don't want to hear this shit. Everybody relax. Nothing matters less than what's happening in training camp, especially considering the offense is trying to install things. They are in certain situations. They are doing things for 3 and 4 yards at a time. This is not anything that is new. So, for anyone, if you're looking down on people for keeping training camp stats and saying it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It doesn't matter for anybody. Good
No.
God, man.
Well, just as I said, I was just very, very excited because could you like again, it doesn't matter, right? They do not matter, but oh my god, if Brock Purdy was holding out and Mac Jones was doing this, you would not hear the end of it.
Right. We can keep talking 49ers, but you know, when a super chat comes up, thank you guys for sending those in, please. You know, we've got to address it. Iceman 0072. I've seen you in the comments talking about, you know, me being at Comic-Con, all that stuff. I'd love to do that as well too. But have I watched Fantastic Four? I have. How did I like Superman? I loved it. How did I like Fantastic Four? I loved it. But what's been my favorite movie so far this year? It's a movie I saw this year, but I don't think came out this year. And it's called Companion, with the young lady from Heretic and the guy from the Boys. What's his father's name? Jesus, his father used to act. If you could look it up.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid's son. Yeah. That movie. Good job, buddy. Good pull.
He's hot today.
Yeah, you're on fire.
On fire.
But it's a movie that I would implore anybody to watch, not knowing anything. Like, don't go in there knowing a thing. But it's one of the most thoroughly entertaining movies that I've seen in a long time. Made me laugh, put me on the edge of my seat. So good, man. But yeah, I enjoyed Fantastic Four. I enjoyed Superman as well too. I think Superman's back finally, and I'm really excited for where James Gunn is going to take the DCEU now.
Axel knows the ball. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Well, because he's just trying to pander
Knows
to
ball.
you because he knows
Knows
you.
ball. Have
he
you?
knows
Hey
you.
man, it's.
No,
a
I
movie
think
you should
Axel
show
likes
everybody.
anime too, right? Like he's a big anime guy.
K-pop Demon Hunters, a movie you should show Averly, but neither here nor there. A good movie, Jason. I watched Parasite for the first time this year, so technically that's the best movie I've seen this year.
Holy shit!
What a movie! What a movie!
That movie is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't believe me, Rolling Stone came out with their top movies of the century, and it's like top 4.
Yeah.
That movie is so insane, and it goes in so many different ways. Yeah, Parasite, that movie knocked me on my ass when I first saw it.
Admittedly, a slow start to the movie, but then when the doorbell rings, it does not stop. Jason, the last thing I got on Niners practice today, no kicking today, so no updates there. That's all I got.
Thank God.
I got
was on the edge of my seat.
I got a video you wanted me to pull up really quick before we get out of here. You want to watch that really quick?
I do. And this is just before you bring it up, I just want to, for, a lot of our fan base and everybody, right? This right here is a video of Jerry Rice's son playing football. And I have never been a person who, was a Brendan Rice fan and, you got to draft him because that's a horrific route.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, he's not good at football.
He looks slow.
But that was my point. That was my point during the whole time. It takes him 10 to 5 business days to get out of a route. Like, oh my God. My goodness, man. But look, if just because your pops was good means that anybody gets in, then Michael Jordan's sons, why are they not here? Jerry Rice's kid, hey man, you're just not built to. But it's just the constant yelling about you have to draft Brendan Rice and Brendan Rice is he's not good, and he's never been good. Look, I could say the same thing about another son who's on his team right now, and I love Terrell Owens, but my God, we're not putting Tariq Owens on his team. He's not gonna make the team.
I thought you were gonna make a Bronny reference.
Well, Bronny made, but you know what? LeBron did what any father would do.
Yes.
Which is, if I was in the same position, I would. But no to Tariq Owens and no to Brendan Rice, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, oh my God. Like,
he looks like a tight end there.
Look, and here's the one. Matt with the comment. If I was Jerry's kid, I wouldn't pick up a football. If my mom was Beyonce, I wouldn't try to sing. If my father was Kendrick Lamar, I wouldn't try to rap.
No.
You gotta carve your own lane, please. God, man. Not because your father. Look, my father was a paralegal. I never went into law. What do you. I don't understand this idea of because he's Jerry Rice's kid, you have to break the doors down to get him in here. I watched his routes. He's not good. He's not good. And think about this, too. Last year, the Chargers wide receiver room was absolutely barren, right? Quentin Johnson can't catch passes, and Josh Palmer and Ladd McConkey's good. He couldn't crack that roster.
Yeah.
And Jim Harbaugh was there. Like, I just wanted you to bring that up because I remember the draft process and people were like, I want them to draft Brendan Rice. I want you to draft. I wanted Jacob Cowing, and I still want Jacob Cowing. I still, that Jacob Cowing doesn't look that bad. Come on, please.
Yeah. So, Jason, that's all I had from camp today. I think it was a very good day for the 49ers all in all. Pads are back on. Football, like, again, we're just hitting every small step we can before we really get there. And I think, Jason, we are let me see. Let me get the exact date here. We are August 9th. We are literally 2 weeks away, a week and a half away from our first game preview on the Sprint Right Option podcast. The Niners play the Denver Broncos on Saturday, August 9th to start the preseason. So we're almost there, Jason. I guess, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I've been looking forward to this my whole life, man. It seems like this has been the longest offseason in recorded history. But yeah, we're back. Football's in the swing of things. We got pads popping. This is the only thing. I don't know who's the football guy we have to pray to. Is it Vince Lombardi? Is it John Madden? Is it?
I pray to David Lombardi.
Nice. Is it Pat Summerall? I don't know, whoever you are up there, whoever the football god is, please don't let anyone else get injured, and let's just get out of this camp. Let's just get out of this camp and this entire time with no more injuries, please. Yep. I can't do this again for another season. Watching backup after backup after backup.
Yep.
Please.
Yep. Well, Jason, we're almost there. Don't know when the next SRO is. Maybe later this week, maybe next week, but we will for sure be back at some point here to talk 49ers football. We are getting there. It's possible that the next time we talk to each other, the preseason will be well underway. So I'm looking forward to it. Jason Aponte, as always.
Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners.